behind you. Something's lurking in the shadows, creeping towards us, and the call is coming from inside the House of Horror. Duskmourn House of Horror is almost here. Jump cut. Now come on and check out some new and returning mechanics before it's too late. Impending. Impending is a new mechanic found on enchantment creatures that helps cast them a little bit faster. When cast for their reduced impending cost, they enter as an enchantment only with a number of time counters on them. For example, Overlord of the Hauntwoods has impending 4. It enters with 4 time counters on it and it costs 2 generic less to cast. At the beginning of your end step, you remove a time counter, giving the sense that the terrifying creature is creeping closer and closer. Once the last of those time counters are removed, bam, you've got yourself a big spooky creature. It's a great way to get value from your cards either early or late game, since whether it's a creature or not, you still get triggers from an enchantment entering, from the card's actual effect, and from casting a spell at all, maybe. The 5 lords of the house all have impending, so you feel their presence as you delve into Duskmourn, even before they make themselves known. Room cards. Room is a new enchantment subtype appearing on split cards. As you can see here on Dollmaker's Shop / Porcelain Gallery, each room has 2 sides or doors. Then this important text, you may cast either half. That door unlocks on the battlefield. As a sorcery, you may pay the mana cost of a locked door to unlock it. So when you cast it, you pick 1/2 and pay its cost. Then it unlocks on the battlefield. Importantly, the door's ability isn't an enter effect that can be doubled by something like Panharmonicon, even though casting the spell will trigger as an enchantment entering for cards like Mesa Enchantress. Then, while it's on the battlefield, you can pay the cost of the other side to unlock that door and receive its effects as a sorcery. Nifty. But it isn't casting a spell, sorcery, or enchantment, it's simply unlocking the ability. Plus, now there are so many opportunities for me to yell, "Get a room!" during Commander games, which I was already doing, and don't make me explain. Manifest Dread. Manifest Destiny is so 1845, though the idea does qualify as a nightmare. So in 2024, we're all about Manifest Dread. Manifest was first introduced in Fate Reforged, and now it's being resurrected in an even more terrifying form in Simic's signpost, Manifest Dread. To Manifest Dread, you look at the top 2 cards of your library and choose one to manifest face down as a 2/2 creature on the battlefield. Then the other is put into your graveyard. The manifested creature can be turned face up for its mana cost as a special action that doesn't go on the stack and can't be responded to. Talk about a jump scare! This mechanic embodies Manifest and Surveil. So you've entered and descended? All those triggers sound like overkill, as are these jokes. Overkill? Kill? You get it. Horror stuff. Let's move on. Survival. Survival is a new triggered ability that triggers at the beginning of your second main phase if the card bearing the survival keyword is tapped. For example, Veteran Survivor, which exiles a card from a graveyard if it survives or is tapped at the beginning of your second main phase. This mechanic is sick because it encourages dynamic play by rewarding attacking, my favorite thing to do in Magic, and surviving to tell the tale. But it also rewards other mechanics like Convoke. You've got your tap down synergies and saddling. So maybe you win the fight, or maybe you hide from combat entirely, but surviving gets you a bonus. And a Selesnya final girl like me, you know I'm gonna outwit, outplay, and outlast. Eerie. Eerie is another new keyword you'll find frequently across Esper colors. It triggers when an enchantment enters and when a room is fully unlocked. Sort of like a beefed up constellation from Theros. Let's take a look at Scrabbling Skull Crab. Aw, cute, a crab skeleton. And then Eerie, whenever an enchantment you control enters and whenever you fully unlock a room, target player mills 2 cards. Never mind, nope, I hate it, it's gross and not cute, and I didn't realize one of the house's horrors was Zendikar Rising's mono blue mill archetype. For our first returning mechanic, Delirium. You may think you're just confused, but no, that's the Delirium. I mean the mechanic Delirium. Otherwise you would be confused because that's what Delirium means. Wait, no, I'm confused. Shadow over Innistrاد's graveyard mechanic, Delirium is back. Delirium is an ability word that grants effects and abilities if 4 or more card types are represented in your graveyard. You're going to be seeing a lot of it on green cards, and it plays well with red and black. like Obsessive Skinner. If you have Delirium, you can put a 1/1 counter on target creature at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. And don't forget, Delirium counts card types. So an artifact creature counts as both an artifact and a creature. That's 2, even though it's just 1 card. And that's good value. And if any of that sounds confusing, no, wait, I can't start this again. Let's just move on. Laylines! Laylines are back. These are enchantments that if you start the game with 1 in your opening hand, you can put it on the battlefield for free. And who doesn't love free stuff? I mean, you're watching this video, aren't you? You love free stuff. You love a ley line. So why don't you lay your finger in line with your mouse and subscribe to this channel? Because seriously, it's free for you and it's a huge help for us. Anyway, back to this stuff. Finally, the Duskmourn House of Horror Commander Precons mark the return of Archenemy. You may be familiar with the term Archenemy for whenever I'm playing at the table. But it actually comes from a format. Originally designed for 60-card decks, Archenemy has now been essentially remastered for Commander with a new set of Archenemy scheme cards coming with the Precons. Archenemy is a 1 versus all format in which the Archenemy starts with more life and a special deck of schemes that they enact throughout the game to wreak additional havoc on their opponents. Previously, the Archenemy could pick opponents off 1 by 1, giving them a huge advantage, but now we have this new awesome structure. The Archenemy starts with 60 life, goes first, and at the beginning of each of their upkeeps reveals a new terrifying scheme card. The other 3 players share a life total of 60, and while the Archenemy still has to declare attacks to an individual player, any other player can block whether or not they're being attacked. This keeps everyone in the game the whole time and makes for some really cool strategic choices from both sides. It really pushes the narrative of a band of heroes teaming up to take down that big bad. I am so excited to take a bite out of Duskmourn. Pre-release is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see all these brand new and flavorful cards and mechanics, creating cool gameplay. The vibes are going to be absolutely immaculate. And by immaculate, I do mean f***ed up and gross in the best possible way. So let us know in the comments what you're excited to play in Duskmourn and get yourself to a pre-release, or else you'll be lonely on Friday. That's it. That's all that will happen.